Matthew chapter 7 verses 24 to 27 talks about the wise and foolish builders, and it was Jesus speaking. He said, "Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash." Foundations are very, very important, aren't they? I can remember in our old home, we had a wall built in the back garden, and the person who built the wall for me spent a lot of time on the foundations. In fact, the amount of time that he spent doing the foundations and getting that right was probably more than it was just to build the wall. That which was showing took less time to do than that which was hidden. And that's because foundations are so important. If we don't take time to lay proper foundations in our lives, when the problems come, that story that Jesus told, it's factual, isn't it? If you built a house on a sand or you built a house on rock, it's factual. But it's more than just building a house. It's all about our lives. What foundation do we lay our lives on? Because it's easy to build on flimsy foundation when everything's going well. But what happens when the storms of life come against us? The problems, the difficulties, the issues, the confrontations, the conflicts that we all face from time to time in our lives. That's when the foundations will be really tested. It takes time to build good foundations. It's easy to build the wall on the sand and then it collapses. It takes time to dig deep, to get it right, to make sure that the foundations are correct in our lives. That's maturity, that's character, that's depth of character, something that we all need if we are to cope with all the stuff that life throws at us. Just food for thought. Foundations. How good are ours? How deep are our foundations? What are we built on? Are we built on the sand? Do we build our lives on that which could be taken away from us tomorrow? And if it is, how do we cope? What do we do? Or do we build on the rock?